Hey everyone, welcome. On this channel, we're going to get into an advanced look at the story Disastrous Necromancer. Come with me as we unravel the journey of Lin Moyu, from his beginnings to him becoming a force to be reckoned with in a mysterious new world. If this story sounds like something you'll enjoy, please like, share, and comment. Your support helps us keep providing these in-depth looks into the world of Disastrous Necromancer. Now let's continue.
Lin Moyu was very satisfied with the rewards he received. He once again experienced the fairness of the human race. With effort comes reward. The more you contribute, the greater the reward. Most of the time, you don't even need to ask for it. The Human Emperor Network will arrange everything. Lin Moyu knew he had done a lot for the human race, whether it was killing aliens, proposing various strategic suggestions, or clearing secret realms. Essentially, all of these were contributions to the human race. Each contribution was recorded and accumulated by the Human Emperor Network, which eventually provided corresponding rewards. I wonder how much faith power 100 star systems can provide me daily. It's worth looking forward to. With a smile, Lin Moyu once again calmed his mind and continued to comprehend the inheritance. 2 seconds later, the voice of the Human Emperor Network sounded again. Congratulations on becoming the honorary president of the Talisman Masters Association. You will have the same permissions as the president. For detailed information, please visit the Talisman Masters Association. His comprehension was interrupted again, and Lin Moyu angrily said, "You must be doing this on purpose." The Human Emperor Network did not respond, acting as if it knew nothing. Lin Moyu knew the Human Emperor Network was doing this on purpose, and he also knew that the Human Emperor Network knew he knew. But the Human Emperor Network still did it, like an old man playing a prank. Lin Moyu was so angry that his teeth itched, but there was nothing he could do. After all, the Human Emperor Network brought good news. I actually became the honorary president of the Talisman Masters Association. What does this mean? It's probably just a title without much real power, but having the same permissions as the president is quite good. I can freely access all the information in the Talisman Masters Association, but unfortunately, this information is not very useful anymore. After obtaining the inheritance of the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable, the information in the Talisman Masters Association had greatly diminished in value. Everything the Talisman Masters Association had, he had. What he had, the Talisman Masters Association might not have. Lin Moyu guessed that the runes he passed on to the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable were likely spread by the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable. So, the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable rightfully gave him the title of honorary president. Lin Moyu knew what kind of people those Talisman Masters were. They had an extreme passion for runes and didn't care much about power. Most Talisman Masters pursued the path of runes. If the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable passed on those runes and used Lin Moyu's name, coupled with the previous favor of teaching, no one would oppose Lin Moyu becoming the honorary president. Alright, I'll be the president then. It seems I'll have to give them lectures in the future. Lin Moyu accepted it calmly and prepared to continue comprehending. Just 3 seconds later, the voice of the Human Emperor Network sounded again. Lin Moyu's eyes instantly opened. I knew you would do this. With the previous experiences, Lin Moyu pretended to cultivate this time, actually just closing his eyes for a moment. Sure enough, the Human Emperor Network came again. Chu Shang and Zhuang Bai have sent a plea for help. Hearing this, Lin Moyu's spirit was immediately lifted, and he discarded all previous thoughts. What's wrong with them? Lin Moyu entered the Human Emperor Network to check the message from Chu Shang. The message was sent 10 seconds ago and had just arrived. After reading it, Lin Moyu muttered to himself. A spatial rift suddenly appeared in the outer region, and Shui Jilian and Qing Fei were sucked in. Lin Moyu immediately checked the information on spatial rifts. A spatial rift is a special passage that often connects to another space. A spatial rift is a one-way passage. Driven by spatial power, those who enter can only move forward until they reach the exit. Its appearance has no fixed location and no pattern. Before entering, no one knows where it will lead. It could be the territory of another race, it could be outside the domain, or it could be inside a secret realm. Usually, in the starry sky, the frequency of spatial rifts appearing is not high, and even if they do appear, they don't last long. In the human race's territory, every appearance of a spatial rift is recorded by the Human Emperor Network. After checking, Lin Moyu found that the frequency of spatial rifts appearing had significantly increased in the past 100 years. With his current understanding of spatial laws, Lin Moyu judged that this was not a good sign. The appearance of spatial rifts is due to the disruption of spatial laws in a certain area, causing two originally unconnected areas to suddenly connect, forming a spatial rift. In essence, it's like a naturally occurring spatial gate. The increased frequency of spatial rifts means that the space of the Great World is becoming unstable. The power of the Great World is rapidly weakening, and if this continues, the probability of spatial rifts appearing will further increase. If a spatial rift happens to appear on a planet, that planet could be sucked in, which would be a catastrophe for the beings on that planet. This spatial rift in the outer region appeared 2 days ago. The location of the spatial rift was just outside a secret realm. Many cultivators who had just come out of the secret realm were sucked in, including Shui Jilian and Qing Fei. Lin Moyu used his permissions to check the detailed information in the Human Emperor network. Shui Jilian was the first to be sucked in, 26 hours ago. Qing Fei was slightly later, 25 hours ago, with a 1-hour difference between them. Now this star region has been sealed off, and no one can approach. Chu Shang and Zhuang Bai had no choice but to ask Lin Moyu for help. They didn't know if Lin Moyu could help, but in the Divine City, they couldn't think of anyone else. Lin Moyu sent them a message, saying he would go there immediately and told them not to worry. The battleship adjusted its direction slightly in deep space and headed there at the fastest speed. Coincidentally, the inheritance point of the Holy Talisman Heavenly Venerable was also in the outer region, and Lin Moyu was already flying in that direction, so the distance wasn't far. Otherwise, it would have taken much more time. Chu Shang received Lin Moyu's reply and immediately said, "Brother Lin has replied." Zhuang Bai, who was watching the starry sky from a distance, asked, "What did Brother Lin say?" Chu Shang replied, "Brother Lin said he is coming over." "Did he say anything else?" "No." Zhuang Bai frowned, pondering the meaning of this. Since Brother Lin said so, it means he has a way. We have no other options now, so we can only wait. Chu Shang nodded, "We can only wait." In the starry sky near them, there were many people. All eyes were focused on one place. Millions of kilometers away, 10 battleships floated, and a team blocked the starry sky. This team was from the War God Hall, and they didn't allow anyone to approach the spatial rift. No one knew what was behind the spatial rift. Even the people from the War God Hall didn't know. Just half a day ago, people from the War God Hall had entered the spatial rift, and there was no news yet. Everyone present could only wait anxiously, as they all had relatives and friends who were sucked into the spatial rift. Millions of kilometers away, a battleship suddenly appeared. Then Lin Moyu flew out of the battleship, his figure flickering in the starry sky, approaching the spatial rift at an astonishing speed. Lin Moyu's sudden appearance attracted the attention of many people. The people from the War God Hall collectively locked onto Lin Moyu. Here, anyone who dared to force their way in would definitely be severely punished. Who is that, so fast? Heavens, he's heading towards the spatial rift. Isn't he afraid of the War God Hall? Maybe he's from the War God Hall. Impossible, didn't you see the people from the War God Hall already in a state of alert? Chu Shang and Zhuang Bai also saw Lin Moyu rushing over. Zhuang Bai's eyes lit up, Brother Lin really came, and so fast. Chu Shang nodded, this speed is faster than any god venerable I've ever seen. The two exchanged a glance, as if seeing hope. Lin Moyu's sudden appearance, just by showing his astonishing speed, was enough to amaze them. For some reason, seeing Lin Moyu made them feel that Shui Jilian and Qing Fei could be saved. No matter what was on the other side of the spatial rift, as long as they were still alive, Lin Moyu could bring them back. Lin Moyu's every step covered over 30 million kilometers. He could traverse billions of kilometers in just a few seconds. The people from the War God Hall were all on high alert. Their battleships formed a unified formation, raising a barrier. A high-ranking god venerable from the War God Hall flew out, standing within the barrier and looking at Lin Moyu. Upon seeing Lin Moyu, he frowned, it's him. This high-ranking god venerable had seen Lin Moyu before. During the operation to exterminate the Buddha clan, he had seen Lin Moyu chatting and laughing with several beyond-level holy venerables. Lin Moyu's voice echoed in the starry sky, I have authorization to enter. As Lin Moyu spoke, the high-ranking god venerable simultaneously received information from the Human Emperor network. His expression changed slightly. Lin Moyu indeed had authorization, and the authorizer was the War Holy Venerable. He immediately withdrew the barrier, making way for Lin Moyu. Since the War Holy Venerable had already agreed to let Lin Moyu in, who was he to stop him? Lin Moyu passed through the barrier without looking back and rushed into the spatial rift. It wasn't until he disappeared that his voice echoed in the starry sky, thank you. Lin Moyu's thanks made the high-ranking god venerable feel honored. Regardless of Lin Moyu's strength, his status was extraordinary. Anyone valued by the War Holy Venerable couldn't be ordinary. Such a person was destined to become a significant figure. Even if one couldn't form a connection, they shouldn't offend him. Millions of kilometers away, a group of people watched Lin Moyu enter. He really went in. Who is he? Did anyone catch his information? No, he was too fast, and the distance was too far to see clearly. He said he had authorization. It seems his status isn't low. He went into the spatial rift without looking back. Does he have friends in there too? If that's the case, it's not a bad thing. Everyone present was a god king, with the strongest being small god venerables like Chu Shang and Zhuang Bai. The distance was too far to see Lin Moyu's information clearly. However, given Lin Moyu's speed, they assumed his strength couldn't be weak. In fact, Chu Shang and Zhuang Bai didn't know Lin Moyu's true strength either. They only knew he was very strong but weren't sure how strong. But they had an inexplicable trust in Lin Moyu. As long as Lin Moyu took action, there was almost nothing he couldn't solve. Inside the spatial rift, Lin Moyu felt the chaotic spatial laws. Spatial power surged from all directions, pushing him forward. His spatial laws were suppressed, making it impossible to use them, and he could only move forward with the spatial power. He simultaneously pondered all the information he had obtained earlier. Currently, it was certain that this spatial rift connected to a very distant place. The exit was already beyond the human star region. It could still be within the domain, or it could be outside the domain. The team from the War God Hall that entered earlier had already lost contact. Because of this, the Human Emperor Network analyzed that they should have left the human star region. However, Lin Moyu thought there was another possibility. It could also be another world or the depths of a secret realm. In ancient times, the worlds conquered by the human race were not entirely annexed after merging with the Great World. Some parts were left for those races to survive. For example, the former Tulu world and Soul Spirit world were like this. Such worlds couldn't be probed by the Human Emperor Network. Entering them was no different from leaving the human star region. There were also the depths of secret realms, such as the second or even third stages of certain secret realms. Those were also independent spaces, not under the jurisdiction of the Human Emperor Network. Specifically, one had to see it with their own eyes to know. After traveling in the spatial rift for about an hour, Lin Moyu finally saw the exit. The view ahead grew brighter, and then a burst of light shone, and Lin Moyu found himself in an unfamiliar starry sky. It was very bright here, with many stars illuminating the originally dark starry sky. The temperature here was also very high, with the heat from the stars spreading wantonly in the starry sky. Where is this? Lin Moyu surveyed the surroundings, first ruling out the possibility of a secret realm. There was no trace of runes here, making it a completely different world from a secret realm. This made him breathe a sigh of relief. If it were the depths of a secret realm, the danger would increase significantly. Secret realms were uncontrollable, with many unexpected dangers. Especially those intermediate and higher level secret realms, where even god kings could die in minutes. In his line of sight, there were thousands of stars. The nearest star was only a few million kilometers away, almost right in front of him. Lin Moyu found himself in a peculiar star system. This star system had 6 stars and 3 ordinary planets. The 3 ordinary planets were almost melting under the intense heat of the stars, their surfaces turning into lava worlds. Such a peculiar star system wouldn't naturally exist in the Great World. It had to be artificially arranged. No race in the Great World needs so many stars. And this world seems somewhat incomplete. Could it really be the remnants of an ancient world? Lin Moyu pondered, his gaze suddenly locking onto the distance. He saw a star in the distance, flashing white light and continuously emitting rays. Some rays passed just a few thousand meters away from him, piercing through the starry sky and flying into the distance. Lin Moyu's soul warned him that those rays were dangerous. I hope they didn't go there. Countless skeleton generals flew in all directions. Finding people was Lin Moyu's specialty. He didn't need much judgment, he could make up for it with numbers. The skeleton generals used their undead vision to find people, directly seeing soul flames without any mistakes. Lin Moyu continued to observe this world while recalling his memories, trying to find information about this world. A race that needs so many stars should be related to fire. There are many fire-related worlds, but not all of them need so many stars. Gradually, Lin Moyu found some information in his memory. In some fragmented information, he had once seen a race like this, the Starfire race. Lin Moyu couldn't remember where he had seen information about this race. At that time, he had read a lot of materials, both useful and useless. In a brief mention, he had come across such a race. The description of the Starfire race was just one sentence. As long as the stars do not extinguish, the Starfire will endure. This indicated that the Starfire race was not easily exterminated. During the ancient wars, many races betrayed their allies. Many of the current races were traitors from back then. The Starfire race was not among them, indicating that they were wiped out during the ancient wars. However, the Starfire race's motto, "As long as the stars do not extinguish, the Starfire will endure," clearly showed that they were not easily exterminated. In this world, the number of stars far exceeded the number of planets, making it much larger than the Tulu world and the Soul Spirit world he had seen before. This indicated that the Starfire race was not weak and should have been stronger than the Tulu and Soul Spirit races. But this was based on Lin Moyu's guess that this was indeed the world of the Starfire race. I don't know if my guess is correct. The skeleton generals had already spread out, exploring this star-filled world. After some thought, Lin Moyu also took action. He continuously teleported through the starry sky, advancing at a speed of 30 million kilometers per second. His target was the star that continuously emitted rays. This star was peculiar, different from other stars. When he was 200 million kilometers away from it, Lin Moyu stopped. At this distance, he could roughly see the appearance of the star. It was also a star. It burned brightly, but the light it emitted was white. It looked exactly like his spell, the White Star. Such stars also existed in the Great World and were called white dwarfs, an upgraded version of stars. They had higher temperatures and stronger power, with heat high enough to burn a god king to death. Moreover, white dwarfs had terrifying pressure, capable of crushing a god king to pieces if they got too close. White dwarfs were also called white stars by the human race and were known as the white death god in some races. The star before him had the same color as a white star. It rotated at an astonishing speed, reaching tens of thousands of revolutions per second, continuously emitting rays. The rays shot towards distant places, reaching tens of billions of kilometers. However, Lin Moyu could feel that the most powerful segment of the rays was within 200 million kilometers. As the distance increased, the power of the rays rapidly decreased. What kind of star is this? Why have I never seen it in the Great World, and there is no information about it? Lin Moyu was very curious. After observing for a while, he decided to get closer. At this moment, a white ray shot towards him. The speed of the ray was faster than the speed of light, with powerful force faintly tearing through space. Lin Moyu had sensed it long ago, and with his speed, avoiding it was simple. But Lin Moyu didn't want to avoid it, he wanted to personally feel the power of the ray. A warning came from his soul, indicating that the ray was quite powerful. The purple gold body automatically activated. Lin Moyu did not use the bone hell or the golden armor talisman. The ray finally appeared in his sight, now very close. The purple gold body burst into brilliant purple light and then shattered with a bang. The undead were simultaneously injured, and the army ruler began to busy itself again. The entire process lasted only a tenth of a second, and the ray had already passed. The power is great, equivalent to a high-level god venerable's strike. The purple gold body alone can't block it. The defense of the purple gold body was roughly at the 5th level of a god venerable. Lin Moyu began to approach the white star, taking a step forward and leaping 30 million kilometers. Another ray swept over, and the bone hell automatically appeared. The bone hell surrounded Lin Moyu, blocking the ray's attack. Inside the hell, millions of hell spirits roared collectively, bursting with astonishing power. The bone hell did not collapse under the ray's sweep. In terms of pure defense, the bone hell's defense was comparable to the 7th level of a god venerable. At the moment the ray swept past, the bone hell completed its mark, marking the white star. Getting closer, the power has increased, but it's still within the range of the 7th level of a god venerable. Lin Moyu felt reassured. The increase in the ray's power was not significant. He took another step, advancing another 30 million kilometers. The closer he got, the denser the rays became, and the higher the possibility of being attacked. Lin Moyu stopped again to see how strong the rays were at this distance. Being cautious is never wrong. Safety first in everything. The skeleton generals were still searching, but there was no news for the time being. This world was not small, and he didn't know where those people had gone. There was no use in being anxious. As long as they were not dead, they could be found. Even if they were dead, there would be clues. Another ray swept over, causing the bone hell to violently shake and twist. After the ray passed, the bone hell also collapsed. The power has reached the 8th level of a god venerable, an increase of 1 level. Lin Moyu roughly judged and took another step towards the white star, appearing just over 100 million kilometers away from it. Another ray swept over, and Lin Moyu's body glowed with golden light as he donned a golden armor. The golden armor talisman easily blocked the attack without moving an inch. It's still at the 8th level of a god venerable, not reaching the 9th level, but very close. If I'm not mistaken, within 100 million kilometers, the ray's power will reach the 9th level of a god venerable. Continuing to get closer should reach the peak of a god venerable or even a half step beyond. Lin Moyu made a judgment in his mind while simulating whether he could enter the white star. After repeated calculations, he felt there was no problem. As long as the attack didn't reach the beyond level and wasn't continuous, he could enter, at worst, using his rebirth ability once. I wonder what the inside of the white star is like. Hopefully, there's no beyond level being inside. That would be troublesome. Lin Moyu had a strong curiosity but also felt a sense of curiosity killed the cat. Just as he was about to continue approaching, he suddenly stopped and quickly began to retreat. The skeleton generals had made a discovery. In a few steps, he crossed tens of millions of kilometers and appeared beside a skeleton general. In front of the skeleton general, a corpse floated quietly. It was a human corpse, completely charred, making it impossible to see its appearance. However, it seemed to be a man. Lin Moyu breathed a sigh of relief. Brother, sorry, I can't let you rest in peace. To find out what had happened, Lin Moyu could only use the resurrection of the dead. The undying flame landed on the corpse, and the body quickly regenerated in the flames. The charred parts rapidly healed, the flesh regenerated, and the soul reformed in the flames. It was a handsome young man with the cultivation of an 8th level god king, neither too strong nor too weak. Lin Moyu judged that he should be a native cultivator of the Divine City, not from the 4 major star regions. The young man was about to kneel before Lin Moyu, but Lin Moyu stopped him. What's your name? Lin Moyu asked. My name is Feng Qingchuan, the young man replied. As a resurrected being, he would not disobey Lin Moyu's orders. Unless Lin Moyu resurrected someone a major realm higher than himself, the resurrected would always obey. Lin Moyu asked, tell me what happened here. How did you die? Feng Qingchuan immediately answered, I came here through the spatial rift. Feng Qingchuan had just left the secret realm when he was swept in. In terms of time, he arrived several hours later than Qing Fei. After arriving here, he saw a few people but did not see Shui Jilan or Qing Fei. They explored this starry sky, hoping to find a way back. Gradually, everyone began to disperse. Feng Qingchuan and 2 other 8th level god kings formed a small team and acted together. But halfway through their flight, a ray suddenly swept over, killing one of them instantly, leaving no remains. This ray came from a distant white star. Although it was tens of millions of kilometers away, their cultivation was too weak to withstand it. Moreover, the ray's speed was the same as the speed of light. If they only relied on their eyes, they would be hit by the time they saw it. They could only rely on their senses to dodge, hoping to avoid it. However, with their souls, it was impossible to sense it. One person was killed silently, with no remains left in the ray's sweep, which scared Feng Qingchuan. He and the surviving person moved away from the white star, the farther, the better. But when they approached another star, it suddenly erupted with terrifying flames. The flames burst out like a volcanic eruption, extending millions of kilometers, threatening to engulf them. Feng Qingchuan had a life-saving treasure. Using this treasure, he luckily escaped, but his companion was not so fortunate and was directly engulfed by the flames, his fate unknown. Although he said his companion's fate was unknown, Feng Qingchuan knew in his heart that his companion was likely dead. When his companion was swept away, he heard his screams. He was terrified at the time and fled quickly. He didn't save his companion, and he regretted it afterward, but he also knew he couldn't have saved him. Afterward, he began to stay away from the stars. But staying away from the stars didn't mean there was no danger. He encountered a star beast. Although it was called a star beast, it was actually very small. It looked only about a meter in size. When it curled up, it was pitch black and almost undetectable. Feng Qingchuan only discovered it when he bumped into it. According to Feng Qingchuan's description, the star beast unfolded its body, ignited in flames, and then spat a mouthful of fire at him. Feng Qingchuan was burned to death, unable to resist. Lin Moyu judged that this star beast had at least the strength of a small god venerable. Although Feng Qingchuan was not very powerful, he was still an 8th level god king and not easily killed. He died a quick death, without much pain. From his description, Lin Moyu roughly understood the true cause of death. On the surface, Feng Qingchuan was burned to death. In fact, the fire truly burned his soul. Once the soul died, naturally, there was no pain. Feng Qingchuan recounted his experiences here, which didn't help much, but Lin Moyu gleaned some information. When they came in, there were quite a few people, about 100. At first, everyone was together, but later they split up. According to his description, they split into 8 directions. The first ones to come in also left in these 8 directions. Lin Moyu immediately dispatched 80,000 skeleton generals to search in these 8 directions, hoping to find some clues. Hope nothing goes wrong. Lin Moyu muttered softly, feeling that this matter seemed a bit troublesome. This unfamiliar starry sky was not as simple as it seemed. Lin Moyu activated the Eye of the Soul and began to carefully examine the surroundings. The undead vision seemed to have lost its effectiveness. So much time had passed, and there were no discoveries. He hadn't seen any star beasts either, which was very unusual. If the number of star beasts was extremely low, why was Feng Qingchuan so unlucky to bump into one? Lin Moyu felt that there shouldn't be so few star beasts, but the Eye of the Undead couldn't see them. The Eye of the Undead was not omnipotent. There had been times when it failed. Under the Eye of the Soul, lines of laws appeared. The lines of laws were straightforward, forming a dense web, interwoven in the starry sky. The Eye of the Soul scanned, but still found nothing. Whether it was the stars or the starry sky, everything seemed normal. For a moment, Lin Moyu was at a loss, not knowing what to do. The longer the delay, the higher the probability of Shui Jilon and Qing Fei encountering danger. This world was unimaginably large. Until now, the skeleton generals hadn't reached the end. Moreover, his skeleton generals were becoming more and more dispersed. By now, he had sent out tens of millions of skeleton generals, scattered like fish in the sea. No choice, this is the only way. Lin Moyu closed his eyes, and a strange aura rose from his body. Invisible mist rose above his head, with dragon roars emanating from it. Luck Transformation Dragon. Explosive luck technique. His luck instantly broke through the limit, reaching an astonishing level. Then Lin Moyu thought of Shui Jilon and Qing Fei, spun rapidly, and disappeared halfway through the spin. He truly chose a direction at random, relying entirely on luck. If he was lucky, he could find them in the shortest time. If he was unlucky, he wouldn't lose anything anyway. Lin Moyu's speed was astonishing. Although Shui Jilon and Qing Fei had entered earlier, they were slower. Lin Moyu believed he could catch up soon. Alternating between the Eye of the Soul and the Undead Vision, Lin Moyu didn't miss any details, searching the starry sky. After each teleportation, he released 1,000,000 skeleton generals, spreading them in all directions. In the blink of an eye, Lin Moyu had crossed 1,000,000,000 kilometers. In his sight, a giant star appeared, looking somewhat dim, like an old man nearing the end of his life. Lin Moyu didn't continue. He had calculated that even if Shui Jilon and Qing Fei were faster, they wouldn't have gone further. In the direction he chose, there was only this star. Either he chose the wrong direction, or Shui Jilon and Qing Fei were here. Neither the Eye of the Soul nor the Undead Vision found anything unusual. But Lin Moyu's intuition told him that this star had a problem. Intuition. Sometimes, you have to trust your intuition, especially when everything is unsolvable and there are no clues. You can only trust your intuition. Especially now, with the explosive luck technique activated, when his luck was at its peak, intuition might be the most reliable. In the next second, Lin Moyu rushed towards the dim star. When he was only 1,000,000 kilometers away from the star, it suddenly erupted, spewing flames. The flames surged like lightning, rushing towards Lin Moyu at nearly the speed of light. Lin Moyu didn't dodge, crashing into the flames head-on. The purple gold body flashed, blocking all the flames. The power isn't great, between a small god venerable and a god venerable. If that's the case, Shui Jilon and Qing Fei should be able to withstand it. Following the flames, Lin Moyu crashed into the star, creating a large crater. He charged through the flames, ignoring the pure high temperature. The law power within the flames was greatly weakened by his passive spell, unable to shake the purple gold body. Lin Moyu seemed to break through a barrier, entering another space. The aura of battle spread, and it was the familiar water-based laws. Lin Moyu sensed the familiar aura. Shui Jilon and Qing Fei were both present. Moreover, their auras were strong, indicating they were not in any serious trouble. He couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. It's good that they're here. As long as they were still around, his arrival would ensure their safety. Lin Moyu flew forward and soon saw them. Shui Jilon and Qing Fei were under siege by a group of half-meter-sized black monsters. The monsters looked like leopards, with red spots on their bodies, and they spewed flames from their mouths. Whenever they spewed flames, the red spots on their bodies would glow. So these are the star beasts Feng Qingchuan mentioned. They're indeed small, not deserving of the name, star beasts. Although Shui Jilon and Qing Fei were under siege and at a disadvantage, both were injured. Fortunately, they could still hold on. Especially Qing Fei, whose sharp sword transformed into a green dragon, slashing through the flames and sending the attacking star beasts flying. The star beasts were not large, with attack power comparable to a small god venerable, but their defense was strong, making it difficult for Qing Fei to injure them. Even when she occasionally managed to wound them, the injuries would quickly heal. Lin Moyu flew over and said with a smile, "Junior sisters, it's been years, and you both still look as impressive as ever." Hearing Lin Moyu's voice, Shui Jilin's gentle face lit up with joy. "Senior brother Lin is here." Seeing Lin Moyu, Shui Jilin knew they were safe. Previously, they had to call him Junior brother Lin, but now they had to change it to Senior brother Lin. After all, Lin Moyu's realm had far surpassed theirs. Lin Moyu was already a god venerable, while they were still small god venerables. Lin Moyu asked, "Junior sister Qing Fei, do you need me to help deal with these creatures?" Since he had found them, Lin Moyu was not in a hurry and even had the leisure to joke with them. Moreover, given Qing Fei's personality, if he directly intervened, it might upset her. Unexpectedly, Qing Fei directly said, "Thank you, Senior brother Lin." Lin Moyu smiled slightly, and several skeleton generals flew out, wielding bone swords. The white swordlight flashed, and the flame-spewing star beasts were annihilated in the swordlight, leaving no remains. Qing Fei watched this scene and sighed softly, "You've become even stronger." Lin Moyu replied, "Junior sister Qing Fei flatters me. I just took a step ahead. You will easily achieve this in the future." Qing Fei's eyes were filled with determination, naturally. She had full confidence in herself. Shui Jilin cheered, "That's great." She was genuinely happy and excitedly put away her puppets. All 3 puppets were damaged to varying degrees and would need proper repairs when they returned. It was clear that Shui Jilin was very distressed. The skeleton generals quickly eliminated the star beasts. The sword energy not only killed the star beasts but also riddled the star with holes. The intense sword energy pierced through the star, creating countless craters. The star began to twist, seemingly on the verge of exploding. A terrifying aura rose from the star, and it howled in agony. It was about to self-destruct, intending to kill the enemies within it. The death of the star beasts had made it feel anger and sorrow. Qing Fei's face changed. "This is bad." Lin Moyu remained calm, taking out 3 golden armor talismans and activating them, placing them on the 3 of them. "Don't worry, it won't harm you." Boom. The star self-destructed, and the terrifying force swept through the starry sky. Golden light flowed over the 3 of them, keeping them safe amidst the explosion. The power of the star's self-destruction was at most equivalent to a second-level god venerable's attack. With the golden armor talismans, they wouldn't be harmed. The star's self-destruction turned it into a burning fireball in the starry sky. The 3 of them, clad in golden armor, flew out of the flames. Lin Moyu looked at the fireball, which had weakened compared to the pre-explosion star but not by much. Moreover, the flames were clearly evolving, seemingly on the verge of transforming back into a star. This was completely different from a normal star explosion and defied common sense. The star is not extinguished, and the starfire endures. Lin Moyu thought of this phrase and softly said, "Could this be the starfire race?" Shui Jilin heard Lin Moyu's muttering and curiously asked, "What is the starfire race?" In the various races of the Great World, there was no mention of the starfire race. Lin Moyu was about to explain when his expression suddenly changed. The skeleton generals scattered everywhere sent back information that the stars were showing abnormal activity. Lin Moyu immediately connected to the skeleton general's vision and saw countless stars violently erupting with flames. Amidst the flames, soul fires lit up. Countless star beasts, shaped like leopards and covered in flaming spots, flew out of the stars. Their sizes varied, with the smallest being less than a meter and the largest about 10 meters. The size of their bodies also indicated their strength. The larger they were, the stronger they were. The weakest were small god venerables. The strongest had reached the peak of god venerable. Lin Moyu realized that the size was proportional to their level. The 1-meter-sized beast Feng Qingchuan encountered was a first-level god venerable. More and more stars showed abnormal activity, and more star beasts flew out. It was like a virus, spreading throughout the starry sky. These star beasts moved at astonishing speeds, not flying but traversing through flames. They could move from one flame to another. Even if the distance between the 2 was millions of kilometers, they could traverse it in an instant. The whole process was like Lin Moyu's teleportation. Lin Moyu understood what was happening. It was his killing of those star beasts that triggered a chain reaction. The number is a bit scary. Lin Moyu sighed softly. Shui Jilin was puzzled. "Senior brother Lin, what's happening?" Qing Fei frowned. "I have a bad feeling. like something is about to happen. Lin Moyu said, "Indeed, something has happened. I've stirred up a hornet's nest." Shui Jilon asked curiously, "What's a hornet's nest?" Cheng Fei also didn't understand, looking at Lin Moyu with a puzzled expression. Lin Moyu laughed heartily but didn't explain further. It could only be said that in their world, there were no such things as hornets. Lin Moyu softly said, "More people, right? Well, the bone hell hasn't had a meal in a long time. If this is the Starfire race, then I'll exterminate you once more." In the starry sky, all the skeleton generals collectively disappeared. Immediately, countless skeleton generals appeared in front of Lin Moyu. The skeleton generals densely occupied the starry sky, countless in number. Shui Jilon and Cheng Fei were completely stunned. They knew Lin Moyu could summon many skeletons but didn't expect there to be this many. The skeletons before them numbered in the millions, even tens of millions, beyond their ability to count. Moreover, the strength of these skeletons made them shudder. It felt like any one of them could kill them as easily as killing a chicken. Cheng Fei forced herself to remain calm. "Senior brother Lin, what level are your skeletons?" Lin Moyu casually replied, "These are just 6th level god venerables." What did he mean by, just? Cheng Fei felt her fragile heart take a hit. Just 6th level god venerables. From Lin Moyu's words, it seemed he had even stronger summons. Cheng Fei thought of the 10,000-meter tall skeleton Lin Moyu had once summoned, which might be his trump card. Shui Jilon excitedly asked, "Senior brother Lin, can we see your stronger summons?" Sure, Lin Moyu didn't refuse. With a wave of his hand, legions exuding terrifying auras appeared in the starry sky.